was getting ready to set up your toy, and I couldn't get it to work. It could not find it, and I'm like, I wonder what the hell's going on. Oh well, we'll just add it to the list. So all right, there you go. Now you can monitor the comments. So all right, this evening we have lots to talk about, including that Colin and I are not behind our normal microphones this evening. If you'll notice, we both look like we're here to help you with customer support. And so if you have any problem with your telephone or your cable, or if you would like to get better interest on your credit cards, we are here to take your phone calls.
Mostly I just get to not hear people complaining that I'm not speaking into the microphone instead of into the table.
Yeah, so this is...
Because I can talk under the table, too.
Yeah, if we just had cordless headphones, then we could go anywhere and do anything.
I have them.
I thought about it. But actually what we're doing is we're test driving the system for the bar, is what we're doing. Because when we're at the bar, we're not going to have our normal microphones. So this is kind of the idea is that we'll be using these instead. And there we go. Now I see it. And so that was one of the things we wanted to try out, is how is this going to work when we're in the bar? Because realistically, these headsets, these headphones and the microphone are not together. They're two pieces. So I wanted to make sure that they would not kill our ears. And so far, not too bad.
I don't even notice them.
Yeah, really. And from the casual observer, you wouldn't know that they're two different pieces, really.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we wanted to go for. We didn't want to look like we were broke and cheap. We wanted to look like we were professional and expensive, because we are.
This does not bode well for our hero, because I am going to have to do something on my end.
Well, I'm not saying we're going to use these all the time.
No, I understand that. I'm talking about if I'm going to be on the screen at the bar.
Well, it's I can shoot you a link to a version of these, because these actually would come in handy during your bag thing too. I love this headset. I use this all the time. In fact, I use it when I call trivia. I use it when I'm doing demonstrations. I have been known to use it when even I DJ sometimes, just because occasionally I want both hands free. And so I actually use one of these.
And you also have some handsets that go with the same system, right?
Yeah. This particular system is the GTD 787HL, for those of you that are curious. It's a 4-handset unit, and I get it in the flavor, which is 2 stick microphones and 2 lapels, because then you can buy 2 more sticks separate. And then you've got the choice of, then you can either run 4 stick microphones or 2 and 2. I mean, it's a very flexible system. It's a Japanese knockoff of a Sennheiser system is what it is. So for a quarter of the price, you get some really nice equipment. In fact, I've even been told that you can take their wireless handheld units and you can replace the heads with actual Sennheiser heads on them if you don't like the quality that comes with them. So...
just for the record, my message toy is not...
Your message toy is not... Oh, yes, your message toy wouldn't be working because we changed it. Because I changed the routing, and so I have to completely... I'm going to have to completely change that. So, yeah, your message toy is probably not going to work.
Okay.
So, apologize about that, folks.
Okay, so you guys got new toys to play with.
Yes.
You took away my toys.
Temporarily. I will have that fixed for the next show, though. Because the problem is I finally got some time, since I was sick with sickle cell anemia, to finish up the travel box. The only thing I haven't done yet is bolt down the mixer, and that's because I was messing with it so much. I didn't want to bolt it down and have to undo it and redo it. So everything else is done. It's even labeled, Mike, if you can believe that. I've even got all the jacks labeled, so we know where things actually plug into. So when I was flailing around earlier in the show, I knew where to stick a plug for once. I wasn't just guessing. So, that's nice. And we have the capability now to, broadcast to our machines, to the web in general, as well as to projectors. So we are ready, I believe, for the bar.
I just love the fact that here in 2017,
Mm-hmm.
the way that you fix audio problems is cutting and pasting.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
everything in the world. It's like, I want to see a Star Trek episode, right? Where they're like, the bad guys are there, and the solution is not some long series of gibberish technobabble. They just say, oh, I know, we're just going to cut and paste the enemy vessel back across the neutral zone.
Well, I mean, if you remember correctly, there was an episode of Star Trek Next Generation where the answer was shut down, restore from backup.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the most realistic episode that they ever did when it came to technological problems. Okay. So, but yeah, that was a problem we had earlier before we went live is Colin could not hear his microphone. And thanks to this being a digital mixer, but my microphone works. So I was able just to copy all the settings from my microphone, paste it onto his channel, and everything then started to work. No worries about going through and figuring out what the actual problem was. Nope, copy, paste. That is what it is. Now, Mike, you talked about homework, that you had homework to do because of our new microphones. The question is, did you guys get the homework done that was assigned?
Mostly.
I had assigned a short thing, and we had one listener complete the challenge. Thank you, Colin's mom. The challenge was 3 fictional characters that represented one of the hosts if you were lazy, or for us, I said we should do each of us on the show. And I did this today. So I didn't take very long to think about this.
I did it a week ago, and now I can't remember what I came up with.
I started doing it, and I never got a third one for Colin or myself.
You didn't?
No, so I have to think about this now.
I said, we supposed to come up with 3 each?
Yes, 3 for each person.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't even have enough, so let's give us about 20 minutes, and we'll come back to this.
All right, we'll come back to it. But I was able to come up with those, and it was.
Well, of course. Hey, Colin, have you ever noticed that when Shaggy gives out homework, he always finishes it up real easy? It's like he has this stuff figured out before he gives it to us.
No, actually, like I said, I did this.
Think about it.
I did this today.
No, I don't believe you.
Honestly,
on a subconscious level.
The only reason this is in my pocket because I did it today.
While you were in your drug-induced hallucination coma state while getting over bubonic plague.
Yes.
There was a part of your brain that went through and figured out all these answers.
No,
because this was your idea initially.
What I actually did was I watched a lot of Arrow and The Flash, and I got all caught up. I was so sick I actually called into work 2 days in a row, so that I didn't spread it around work, and so it was very good that we didn't have a show on Monday, which I apologize to all the listeners who were looking forward to a show, but there was just no way that I was going to infect Colin, and knowing my luck, it would have gone through the wires, and somehow I would have been the first person to transmit a virus actually through the computer, and it's been a really sucky year for colds already this year.
Oh, yeah.
Which my wife firmly blames on this mild winter that we've had, that it hasn't killed off all the viruses yet.
Yeah, that very well could be.
And part of that is
there's some validity to that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably some validity to it, but I don't think it's everything. But yeah, I had a cold. Probably for 2 weeks. I got over it for 3 days, got a sinus infection. Finally got over for that. I was good for probably 2 days. Then I walked into the same cold again. And that's what I had recently. So that it's a nonstop hacking around my house for the most part. Somebody's going to cough at some point. So it definitely it was good that we held off on the show. I think the only things not to get sick around here is the dogs. Although from what I'm told, the dog flu is going around now. So, I'm sure one of my dogs will end up being sick from that. And some of you may notice I'm not in my standard T-shirt tonight. A collared shirt. I actually have slacks on and dress shoes. This is definitely not something to get used to. I'm not dressing up for the show anymore. We're not that serious. But I had to go to court this morning.
Oh.
And so I had to wear big boy clothes.
Okay.
This was, I don't know if I've actually talked about this on the show, but I am becoming co-guardian for one of my cousins.
I think you did.
Okay. And that has become a process. That has become one heck of a process. And, it'll be interesting to see how all this goes. So but I don't want to bore everyone with it on the show. So if you're curious about how that journey goes and what all is involved and some of the more minutia of it, pay attention to the Facebook page, the YouTube channel, and watch for the On the Road Again with Shaggy segments, because I'm sure it will be making an appearance on those. Which, by the way, those have started back up again.
Yes. My mom had a question.
Yes.
Was it supposed to end in the middle of thought?
No.
She said that you're kind of like talking at the end, and then suddenly it was done.
I don't remember a video stopping just like that. I actually remember, the first one back, I actually had a really good tagline that I thought, I should end all of them like that. And then I immediately forgot it on the next one. Because I think it was like episode 14. I'm like, all right, I'll see you on the next trip. And I'm like, I should end all of them this way. We could start a thing, And on the next one, I just pulled up to my destination and I was done. And I'm like, okay, bye. So, later. And so I just turned it off, because I was done talking. I think I may have said, all right, that's all for this one or something like that. I don't think I cut it abruptly or anything. But, those are... They're meant to be short. I don't think I don't remember just going, all right, click. I don't remember doing that. I'm not saying I didn't, but I don't remember doing that, and that's not the intention, obviously. I want to finish a thought and then kind of exit out. But that is, that whole getting back into this, the whole purpose behind that was it's very much what is rolling around in my head. And then the guys at work, there's a couple of guys at work that watch them, and they're trying to figure out where I'm leaving from and where I'm going to during the journey. Because they know around town well enough that they're like, where are you? You're in the middle of a field, but I can't figure out exactly where you are. And so, that was... But I think I covered some pretty decent topics. I covered Trump's budget in one of them.
Yeah, the fact that you went political kind of scared me for a second.
Yeah, but I think I covered it in a good way, in general, and I also
as
covered.
Good as you can, because it's a very touchy subject.
It is a very touchy subject. I agree, and I think I try to attack those the same way that we attack it, things like that on the show, where I try to do a balanced opinion, because I don't think any of us are hard left or hard right. I think we are definitely somewhere in the middle. We're all in the realist category.
Oh yeah.
So
get stuff done category.
Yeah, exactly. So and then I had to, because it was so out there. I had to cover the Cash Me Outside girl in what I titled "America Loves a Car Wreck," which I think was fairly accurate, and it just so happened to align with something that was going on with a Mike. I think you posted. So
there was an article posted up somewhere that said by the end of this year, that little 13-year-old bitch is going to be a millionaire.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
Right off the bat, I said I can be outright crazy, ludicrous, but the fact that I'm 43 The fact that I have 30 years experience on her means that I am not entertaining when I do that, which is a very sad commentary on the state of this world.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. And, you know,
I'm going to leave it at that.
yeah, it's one of those things. But let's go. Yes, Mike.
I do have to say that our immortal fans, our greatest fan, let me put it that way, has challenged me once again. I can only pray that this isn't a Donald Duck beard.
Oh.
She wasn't exactly sure if the box was going to have her name on it or not. So,
Well, no, it doesn't. But she actually messaged me, and because she felt bad that I struggled with the Mickey Mouse one.
which she still loved.
So I did slice it prior to air, just see what we got. It's smaller. It's not in an actual box. It's an envelope. Oh, I think I can work with this. What do we think here?
Ah.
This looks like a hat that Shaggy would wear. That's very simple. It's with the poof on top. I don't like the fact that they made me a ginger on this. I'm very disappointed that the kilt didn't come with it either.
I love that hat.
But I think I can work with this. Indeed.
Ah, yes.
Lura, lura, lura. River dance, bitches.
I remember picking that one out.
There's not coffee in my cup. This is a little bit of Jameson. Indeed. The trick to doing a Scottish accent, in case you don't know, when you're at the bar, you have to speak through your fucking nose. That's the trick. You have to imagine Mr. Scott and just speak through your nose. And if somebody can't do it, threaten to shove a fucking glass down their throat, and they'll be able to do it quite easily.
Oh. What can you tell us about the people who try their
come
best?
back and speak, you know.
What do you think about people that try
hear you.
You can't. Okay, hold on one second. What do you think about people that that try their best, or winners, or prom queens?
See, the fact that this came with that ginger hair. Hold on. We'll improvise a bit and say, losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
Couldn't help it.
Back, baby, back, baby, back, want my baby. Get in my belly!
Yeah.
I gotta know, what does that look like backwards?
Backwards. With or without the ginger hair?
With the hair, that's the point.
There's a tag, so I didn't remove it here.
That looks like the weirdest hippie in the world.
Either that or it's Harpo Marx.
Perhaps this is how it should have been worn to begin with.
Kind of looks like, you know, if that was dyed black, that'd be an excellent emo mask.
Use me as a premise, why don't you?
Oh, that's
Rodeo man on the items. These two ancient fucks.
it's like the groundskeeper Willie from The Simpsons came to life right before us, Colin. Oh, I love this idea. We got to start
And the best part is, the Scottish haven't pissed anybody off since they invented golf. So it's not like I'm offending anyone.
No, and they can take a joke. You know, that's the best part is the Scots can take a joke. You know, we get that that Asian helmet. You know that we could get into trouble for that, but
Yeah.
no Scots gonna
I
get
told
upset.
you that from the very beginning.
Yeah, but it still makes it fun. I didn't say we weren't gonna do it. I just said.
Oh, wow.
Reminds me of my days as a wee lad in Glasgow. Always had the kid with a purple shirt riding on the lawn. And
Oh. Yes. All right. Okay. Power Rangers comes out on Friday.
Yes.
Colin, I know you're a big fan. You love movies.
I love movies. I'm not sure. I'll probably be going with my nephews.
Oh, okay.
Without them, I don't.
It's got Bryan Cranston in it, though.
He's
that
fine.
barely frickin' counts.
How about but I mean, there's a big thing going on though right now about Power Rangers in general.
Yes, because one of them is perhaps a lesbian.
No, I was thinking more about
Don't tell me no, boy.
I was thinking more about the ex-Power Ranger that pled guilty to manslaughter. But yours is a happier story.
That's true.
Uh,
Apparently one of the girl rangers, obviously, has to determine whether or not she's a lesbian as part of the storyline.
well, if we can have a gay,
Factory worker from the south.
no, I was thinking from Beauty and the Beast. It's not Gaston. He's not gay.
That LeFou.
LeFou. Then why couldn't we
A
have?
name like LaFou, of course he's gay.
Why couldn't we have a
Nothing wrong
lesbian
with that.
Power Ranger?
Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
There have been 24 different Power Rangers.
Yeah. I know. Yes.
Teams. Power Ranger teams, okay?
Yeah.
There better be a lot more lesbians and at least one murder, I guess.
You're saying for the odds,
They're just running the odds.
just running the odds, they got a pretty good chance of some violent offenders.
Right, some of them are going to be dying of cancer.
I don't think there are any Power Rangers in the death pool.
No, there aren't. That's a crying shame. That should be fixed next year. Power Ranger heavy death pool next year, folks. When I read the article though about Ricardo Medina Jr., I thought they were talking about Tommy the White Ranger. No, they weren't talking about him. But boy, the guy kind of looks like him.
Is he what Power Ranger series? Samurai.
He was in Power Rangers Samurai. And he pled guilty to felony count of voluntary manslaughter in the, get this, stabbing death of his roommate in Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office.
They stabbed him with a samurai sword.
He actually did, admitted to an allegation of using a sword in the killing.
I killed me, Mal.
He probably thought he was a putty guy.
Stabbed me with a sword.
He was the Gold Ranger. He wasn't even one. He's not even one of the main Rangers. He's one of the other Rangers.
Thought he was a Red Ranger, though. Thought I
What was
had
the name?
read that. His name is Ricardo Medina.
Not Ricardo. Montalban.
Ricardo Medina. Okay.
Yeah.
Samurai?
Yes, Power Rangers Samurai. You can see the if you just Google Ricardo Medina.
I got that part. I'm just looking at.
Yeah, just Google Power Ranger murderer.
Yeah, I think so. Power Ranger murderer. And who played the Red Ranger? There he is, right there.
Oh, wait a second. That's not Samurai.
Yeah, it was. Oh no, he was in Wild Force.
Wild Force. Yeah.
Why does Yahoo say he's in Samurai, but then you go to
It doesn't say he was in samurai. It says he killed a samurai sword.
but anyway, So yeah, he evidently
Yes.
he flipped the script literally.
Yeah. The other way around, he was the main ranger because he was the, if I remember
He was
correctly,
the Red's always the main guy.
yeah, but he was also the ranger who, himself, was a wild guy, if I remember correctly.
Mm.
The fact that you're even trying to recall what ranger he was is very disturbing.
Well,
That they're on Netflix, and sometimes
There's a lot of shite on Netflix. I don't watch it all.
I tell you what I started watching on Netflix, the Iron Fist,
I need to watch that.
which is not a sex toy. Well, it could be a sex toy, but it's also a DC comic.
I like to watch the
Right.
first 3 episodes of Power Rangers and then the final one to see what the ending is. That's it.
And I always killed a diamond.
Yeah, well,
I always
but
slay
it's
the best with the damn Zords.
but it's like Voltron. It's like I don't know why they never bother just to go ahead, create the damn big robot in the beginning and finish it off, rather than piddling around as individual robots.
Well, they never do in Power Rangers. Power Rangers is like they build a big robot. Voltron, I tend to still build a big robot. Actually, was an episode of Voltron where they didn't, and then they ran out of power. That's why. Voltron
Just
can
so.
only be Voltron with a big robot for like 3 minutes.
Oh, so there's a time
That's
limit.
not true. Why am I looping back?
Oh, wait,
I
that-
don't-
Lions could be a-
That's the
Lions could be
vehicle.
a big robot forever.
Vehicle Voltron can only.
Vehicle Voltron is not the real Voltron.
Well, none of them are the real Voltron because they're just various Japanese shows with
Oh, you're just speaking.
new text. I feel
think
like this should be a beer, not a water. As we
I-
complain with the Scottish person.
I think I know why you're looping back, Mike, and I can probably fix
No,
it.
I can't
during
hear
the-
you.
Damn it!
Bastard.
I think I can.
That's what
I think I can fix your loopback problem during the break. So, all right.
Once again, fuck the red-headed stepchild. Fucking arsehole.
All right. Another person who went crazy. This one locally. Colin, did you happen to hear about the woman who went bat-s crazy because she didn't get more salt on her fries?
Yes.
Police are looking for an unhappy Zaxby's customer who launched into a tirade, punched a monitor when unhappy with her food. This story from the AP out of Jonesboro, Georgia. Police in Georgia are searching for an unhappy customer who threw her takeout order at restaurant workers. Clayton County Police Detective Stephen Schindler told TV station Wednesday that a woman was upset because she said there wasn't enough seasoning salt on her fries at Zaxby's restaurant in suburban Atlanta. The woman took 2 takeout containers filled with food and tossed them over the counter. Restaurant video shows the woman leaving with her order and then returning with a man to complain to the manager. The unhappy woman punched the register monitor. Schindler says she spewed curse words towards employees. The man with her stood in silence during her tirade. News reporters say the incident occurred March 10th. Schindler says the woman could face charges for damage to the property. Now, this man, if all he did was stand there this whole time, he should just leave. Just leave this woman now, because you know this is not the first time she has flipped out. At all. Mike is just sitting there.
If she flipped out over salt on her fries, I've got to wonder what else she flips out about.
You know, it's the same people that call 911 because they didn't get the cheeseburger the way they wanted. It's the same people that they couldn't get their pizza order done because they waited till 2 minutes before the place closed. It's the same people. It's these people, and I hate these people.
These are the people that just ruin it for everyone.
Yes. So, just crazy. I mean, All right. And then I put a question up on our page, just quickly here, about a math question that stumped. Supposedly, this math question stumped parents, but it was given to 6 and 7-year-olds.
I stared at that thing for a long, long, long time, trying to figure out what I was missing.
You mean what was so difficult about it?
Yeah, I was like, there had to be a trick. And then you answered our only other person who answered to say that was the right answer. And I was just like, okay.
Well, both people that we actually had two people answered.
Oh, I didn't see the other one.
Yeah, your sister and your mom.
Yeah.
And as normal, Mama Blair is right. Your sister was wrong. Simple mistake that she made, though. Simple mistake. It happens. And I think she recognized it, which is why I think she took down her post.
That's why I didn't see it.
Yeah. But here's the question, all right? There were some people on a train. 19 people got off the train at the first stop. 17 people got on the train. Now there are 63 people on the train. How many people were on the train to begin with?
Now, obviously, the answer is 0, because when the train was first built, there was nobody on it.
The internet was full of questions. Was full of questions like that. They were like, well, whatever the answer is, you have to add 2 because you've got the conductor and then you've got the person taking tickets. Don't forget you got Homeland Security making sure our trains are safe.
Were there any monkeys? Because those are people, too.
Well, you have to subtract the people that voted for Trump because they're just morons. I mean, you had every comment you could think of that was out there on this thing. So you can try you solve it yourself. It's x minus 19 plus 17 equals 63.
Yeah.
All right, that's what it is. All you have to do is solve for x. That gives you the answer of 65. That's how many people were on the train to begin with, 65 folks. 65 folks, 19 of them get off, 17 get back on. That leaves you with 63 people on the train.
Yeah.
There's your answer. All right? But you end up with tons of people. Tons of people. Husband says 66 because we forgot the train driver, but that doesn't factor in an inspector, like I said. Question is perfectly fine. We're looking at it algebraically for proof purposes, but it's simple. Add plus subtract.
This is why reading comprehension was always the section I kind of scored lowest on. The whole to begin with is where you get confused.
Somebody said...
How many people from the start were on the train? How many original passengers were on the train?
Yeah, another person. Well, you can only count people that are documented citizens born here in the United States. You can't count those damn illegal aliens that are here to take our jobs.
They probably didn't buy a ticket anyway.
Yeah, Obama gave them a damn ticket. They don't count. Christine Walsh writes, kids actually get this. It's the parents who don't. My child's learning this in 2nd grade.
I think you come up with different answers if you use Common Core.
No, actually, Common Core is just refactoring, and in my mind, Common Core has nothing to do with algebra. Common Core gets you to your simple subtraction and addition, but this one is pure problem solving. What is the answer? Pray. Jesus is the answer.
What's the answer? 42. The answer is 42.
Oh. The answer is I made lots, working the second job, all from home. You too. You can too. Oh, man. But yeah.
Okay. Now, I do have...
It's only a problem for liberals. Was what somebody wrote.
So I do have my list recreated.
Okay, good.
Do you have your list created, Mike?
I still don't have a third one for you, you bastard.
That's all right.
It was hard for me too, but then I came up with a theme and changed the other two, and that was good.
All right. So, Colin, I'll let you go first.
Okay. Are we supposed to read them all, or
I'll tell you what. Why don't you go, Mike? Just
Mike.
say Mike. We'll do Mike all the way around first.
okay? So the first one I have is Doug Dorsey.
A Minnesota machine.
Doug Dorsey. All right.
Yes,
Topic.
Topic.
It's one thing we remember. Great romantic comedy movie. We remember Topic.
Yes. Actually, none of these make any sense for Mike, but they're just
Okay.
three I came up with. So the second one I came up with was Elliot Spencer.
All right.
Don't know. I can't back that up. It's just what I put. And then the third one, which goes with the theme I finally used to fill in for my own, and it still doesn't make any sense, but Templeton Peck.
Oh, okay. Well, he is the master of disguise, as
Yes.
we are being shown.
Yes.
All right. So here's mine for Mike. Stephen Colbert. Not the real guy, but the persona from the Stephen Colbert Show. All right. Jacob Stone from The Librarians. Smart but ready for a bar fight.
You've got the same actor twice there, Mike.
And Willard from Footloose.
The original or the remake?
The original. There is no such thing as a remake. You know.
Great. So I get to be portrayed by an actor who the fat pen that OD'd.
All right. So what do you got for yourself, Mike?
Joey Gladstone.
Yes.
Noah.
I should have thought of Noah.
And the obscure one, Heaver, which was the character played by Keanu Reeves in the movie Youngblood.
Okay. I don't remember if I've ever seen that one before.
If you've never seen Youngblood, you're not a hockey fan.
Okay. Nope. Haven't seen it. Haven't seen too many hockey movies. All right. So I'll let you go next, and you get to pick. You either get to do me or Colin.
First,
Gets a little warm, don't it?
no, it was starting to itch, actually.
Okay.
All right. All right. So we're gonna do Shaggy first.
Okay.
Mark Hunter, not the VJ, but also known as Hard Harry from Pump Up the Volume,
Okay.
played by the great Christian Slater.
Yes.
Data from the Goonies.
Ah, damn, not Star Trek.
You're always patching stuff together, and somehow it works. And because you are our fearless leader, I had to pick the most illustrious character I could to represent your leadership. Commander Taggart from Galaxy Quest.
Okay. That one, oddly appropriate. You want to go next, Colin?
Sure. Okay, so the first one I just could not resist. I'm sorry. Fire Tuck.
Right. Yep. It's appropriate. I have dressed as it for Halloween.
Yes. Number 2, Nigel Tufnell.
Nigel Tuff. Why do I know that name?
Up to 11.
Ah, okay.
You know, 'cause all the equipment.
Yes.
And finally, going with the theme, and because you always have a plan, Hannibal Smith.
All right. Well, thank you. I like that. All right, so here's what I had for me. Not nearly as glowing a recommendation as you guys. I have Cosmo from The Fairly Odd Parents. I have Clark Griswold.
Sorry, that's my dad.
And because there isn't a situation I can't seem to make fun of in some way or another, Harry Stone from Night Court.
Ooh, nice.
All right. So then that leaves Colin, and I'll go first this time. I have Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory. Cartoon. Sherlock Holmes. And Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory.
Okay, the irony is I had Sheldon and I crossed it out.
Well, see, that's the missing one. There you go.
But no, I came up with a third one while we were talking here. All right, so instead of Sherlock, I said he was Dr. Watson.
Ah, okay.
Because I think Dr. Watson was actually the genius behind, but that's just me. Silent Bob, because he is the most quiet, but when he does speak, it's worth its weight in gold. Mm-hmm. And damn it, you should listen. And the one that I just came up with is the voice of genius from Herman's Head.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so what I put in mind was Ben Crandall. I know you, the main character from Explorers.
Oh, okay. I know. Okay. All right, thank you. Yeah. Little context helps.
Yep. Nero Wolfe, particularly the Maury Chaykin version. And I actually couldn't find anything good for A-Team, but I decided I'm not B.A. Baracus, so Murdoch.
All right. Well, that you could have been Amy.
It could have been the Mexican guy that they brought on in like the end when they were kind of working for the army again.
Yeah, when they were working.
When they jumped the shark the third time.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Vaughn.
Or remember there was that guy in there before Face? In the trailer, Face was
oh yeah,
the pilot. There wasn't a Face.
It was pre-Face, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, oh man, I think that was fun. We actually did get, like I said, one entry in, and I think we'd be remiss if we didn't go through that one. If I can pull it up here real quick, going through all of our death pool entries. Let's see here. So, Gail wrote, oh, come on. So, happy birthday, blah, 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 starting back.
All right,
all right, here we go. Mike, Cat in the Hat, Inigo Montoya, and Long John Silver. Colin, another vote for Dr. Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Who, and Hercule Poirot.
Another Agatha Christie.
Me,
Detective.
Rhett Butler, James Bond, and Huckleberry Finn. Okay, all those good suggestions. So, see, and
I asked my wife about this, and she was like, "Dumbass."
No, that'd be Mr. Dumas.
Dumas.
And on some days, shithead. And of course, immediately I jumped. That's Mr. Shafade. Thank you.
I was gonna text her today because I was kind of struggling a little bit, and I was gonna go. Do you have any I was gonna ask her. Do you have any recommendations for this? But then I finally kind of got through because But yeah, it was it's fun. It is a fun time. But we did have some celebrity deaths that happened over the weekend. We had a couple of points awarded.
These were the closest two hits I think we've had in a while as like intervals.
Yeah. So we had
Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry passed away at age 90, and then we also had David Rockefeller passed away. He was 101. So not very high point values.
No.
But it did get a couple of people on the board.
Yes.
So, and after all, isn't that what's important? Now, Rockefeller obviously important for being an entrepreneur. You know, you can't think of wealth without the name Rockefeller popping into your head.
Was he actually an entrepreneur, or was he just someone who got the money?
Let's
look it up.
He was according to this, the grandson of the Standard Oil co-founder John Rockefeller. But he was a philanthropist in and of himself. So,
okay, so he ran Chase for a while, so therefore, good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was one of these. I don't think he was the same as some other people, where when you do an analysis of the finances, you can find that had they just sat on their butt for 20 years, they'd have made more money. Okay? Because there have been those people. There have been studies done of certain people that are supposedly, great businessmen, where if they'd have just put the money in a savings account, they'd have made more money than their business investments that they did make. So, and you can say, well, you have to risk something to gain something, but it shows the strength if your losses offset your wins.
True.
So, and then Chuck Berry, obviously, a pivotal person in history. Getting that famous phone call from his brother Marvin, during the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, which launched his career into music. If not really for that phone call, where would American music be today?
True. That's very true. But if you think about it, if guys weren't stoned, if Marvin wasn't such a klutz and sliced his hand open in his trunk.
Well, see, and that's where we needed the the release pins on the inside of the trunks earlier. Legislation for that should have started right after the car was invented. That should have been the number one thing. Forget seatbelts. We need release latches.
If it was a white man that sliced his hand, that legislation would pass the following week.
That's right. Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Of course.
I agree.
When the car was invented, the trunk was literally a trunk.
Yes. But they would have put explosive bolts on the hinges back then. So.
I'm just saying, a release latch on the inside of a trunk would have saved little kids who accidentally crawled into a trunk in houses, not just.
Well, hey, release latches might help kids that are locked into refrigerators that are thrown in the dumpsters too. But
that was a big thing.
We're not going to go crazy and put them on everything.
That was a big thing when we were kids. Don't get inside refrigerators.
Yeah. Don't tape your refrigerator shut when you put it on the sidewalk. You got to take the door off. That was the big thing around here is you got to take the door off your refrigerator before you throw it away.
That's the law around here now.
I mean that, and you got to cut all the circles on your beer carry. The nylon hoops that hold your 6-pack together. Because the seagulls get stuck in it when they're digging through the trash.
Still have to do that.
Nah, you don't have to do that. The seagulls got smart. They formed a union.
It's not
sheep. You are all sheep.
Right.
And to
you
me,
have no idea.
Yeah.
Seagulls.
Reference, and you guys didn't get fine.
No, we got the reference.
Hardly wait.
But to me, it's that picture of the turtle who had.
Oh, with his shell. It looks like he's wearing a corset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one that got me. I was like, ooh, okay, okay, fine.
Now I only buy my beer by the case, so that I just have to collapse the cardboard. And who buys a 6-pack anymore? That's got plastic rings.
Well, that's true. Do they still sell?
Oh, they still sell soda that way for sure. The plastic bottles still come in the 6-packs. I think we should start a petition, Mike.
No.
No, that's important. This is important legislation that needs to happen. So much so that nobody's doing this.
I am not starting no damn petition on change.org.
Yeah, I think
Something like
I
that.
think we could get 1 billion signatures. Maybe this could be the one thing that we get the current administration to push through.
Oh, dear.
That's a win for our people. This could be the start that brings the whole country together, Mike.
Break time.
Almost. Talk about we'll do
Okay,
real.
I do have to thank you, by the way.
Yes.
I forgot. I owe you a thank you. Because from many, many years ago, staff picnic, when we had a small 100 gig switch or 100 meg switch connecting 4 laptops in a hotel room
Yeah.
to swap our music libraries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I happened to go through my folders and I found the folder that I copied everything into was PTR molested.
Okie dokie.
Why? Everything that I got off of your laptop and Nate's laptop
Okay.
went into that file. And there happened to be a folder in there, Real Men of Genius.
No.
So at the bingo, which was a success, last Friday,
Great.
or the Friday before St. Patrick's Day, I had a couple of playlists set up. One of which was for the pregame, which was the setup, which was before the doors opened up, and it was only the volunteers working the room. And I thought I grabbed one of the Real Men of Genius, but I grabbed the wrong one.
Oh no.
And I happened to be there. I hear, Real Men of Genius, here's to you, Mr. Edible Underwear Inventor. Woo! Luckily, I was smart this year. I used my laptop, and I had the touchscreen. I was real quick to be able to hit that next button. I was like, who put that on there? What is that? And Kim was one of the people. I got about 3 or 4 people like, Edible Underwear Maker? Yes, you damn right.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's funny. That is hilarious. I can't believe that. Yeah, I've had things.
All of the ones.
I've had things
That's
like
the
that
one.
happen. I've had things like that happen to me. And of course, now that I'm looking for it, now I can't find that one because I was going to play during the break.
The other thing that I am going to say, and this is kind of a public service to anybody who is listening in the New Jersey area that plans on having a designer bag bingo as a fundraiser. We had a gentleman from the New Jersey State Board of Gaming there for probably about a good hour to make sure that we were calling the game. I was calling the game correctly. I was closing out the games correctly. I have worked for my company in my job for coming on 18 years. I have never had so much anxiety as I did for that hour with this guy.
Yeah, it can be kind of frustrating because I know when I used to work at the Knights of Columbus Hall, and we would have the health inspector come in when we were doing an event, and you're like, oh crap, what is he going to find? Because he's paid to find something. Okay, what is he going to find?
Now we're at a slight advantage because one of our volunteers formerly worked for the state. So she kind of knew how to handle
How much
him.
you needed to bribe him. Yep, I
Not
understand.
even bribe, just like what to say, what not to say, but this guy, man, listen.
It's not something you want to
thing
go
I
through
didn't-
any other time, huh?
No, but it's probably going to be an annual thing, because I come to find out that he lives in the neighborhood where we have the event.
Oh, that's never good.
Now, the upshot was there were 3 other events that I knew about happening at the same time within a mile. So I made sure I pointed that out a couple of times. This way, he knew he couldn't stay here. He did get a little freaked out when I pointed out that I had a GoPro. Taking time lapse every 5 seconds of the entire room. So really, I could go back if I wanted to and track his movements throughout the room and see exactly how long he stayed. So, but I won't do that because.
No, that'd be kind of a jerk move.
When it was all said and done, he didn't really give us a problem. It was just more the anxiety of what he could have done.
Yeah, I understand. So, all right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, during the second half hour of that, we're going to do our movie reviews. Up this week is Strange Wilderness and P-51 Dragon Fighter. That's right.
Somebody.
Some awesome movies this week picked to review. You won't want to miss that. Also, during the second hour, we are going to talk about 10 divorce lawyers reveal the most insane secrets couples have hidden from one another. That's going to be coming up in the second hour, so make sure that you stay tuned. All that plus much, much more. You're listening to PTR Radio. Don't forget, get in touch with us on Facebook or Twitter at PTR Radio. We'll be back in just a few. Stay tuned.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Tiny Thong Bikini Wearer.
Mr. Tiny Thong Bikini Wearer.
Beachgoers the world over see you coming and say, hey, check out the woolly mammoth in the rubber band.
A giant woolly mammoth.
Defying the natural laws of physics, you managed to squeeze a 46-inch waist into a 30-inch suit. Like ground meat crammed into a sausage skin, you take to the beach and proudly strut your stuff.
Yeah!
If you've got it, flaunt it. That's your motto, which is ironic because you haven't got it. So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, sweet cheeks, and know that if you weren't wearing that suit, we'd ask you to take a bow.
Mr. Tiny. Going down.
Now, back to PTR Radio. Spectacular group of men. You will find them with your arms around them and give them a big kiss on the mouth. This is PTR Radio.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Sorry, I am horrible at the buttons tonight. Horrible at the buttons tonight. And yes, I did play a song during the break. It was kind of done on purpose. I was trying to fix something, and I needed a bit more time, so I played that instead.
Was it fixed?
No. Nope. Hi, Mike.
Hi.
All right.
Nope, wasn't fixed.
Nope, wasn't fixed. My apologies to Mike for looping back. I will figure that out. But for some reason, it's happening.
So let's recap.
Yes.
You guys got new toys.
Yep.
You took away my toys.
Yep.
And I'm looping back.
Yep.
But you got a hat.
Although actually the loop back doesn't seem as bad. It only seems... So wait a second. I'm not looping back now when I speak.
Huh. That's odd.
If I talk over one of you guys, I loop back.
Well, that's your penalty for talking over top of us. Know your role. Nah, I'm just kidding. All right. So,
you're trying to silence me like Tommy Lauren. That's what you're trying to do.
No. But
You
speaking...
see, she got suspended?
No. She did. Tell me the story.
Glenn Beck, who I guess runs The Blaze, where she does her shows. Now, look, agree with her or not, she is... 99% of the people out there wouldn't know anything about The Blaze if it was not for Tommy Lauren. Fair statement?
Yeah.
She's arguably the most popular, quote-unquote, show on The Blaze. She was on The View and said that she was pro-choice. Apparently goes against everything The Blaze stands for because they suspended her.
It's no good.
When we get to a point where it's all or nothing, when you're walking a party line,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that's a problem.
It is a problem. It is a problem. And,
I mean, I'm trying not to get political here. I'm really not.
I'm with you. I'm
Yeah.
with you.
If we're going political, I'd say, I found out that we're Barack Obama's favorite radio show, and I challenge anybody to say we're wrong.
I challenge you to have Barack Obama call up and say that we're not his favorite radio show.
There you go.
That's right. This is the way that this works. You know what? Barack Obama had us wiretapped. And nobody's going to tell me different. I have inklings that we were wiretapped.
We're going to go down that road.
No.
We're going to wind up on some other list.
If the president isn't going to end up on a list, we're not going to end up on a list. All right? We can make baseless accusations. This is the internet. That's what we do. By the way,
the internet is coming to get us.
Okay. We will do something fun instead. How about that? Mike, what year were you born?
1974.
1974, the most popular snack in the world was called Squeeze-A-Snack.
What?
That's right. It was called Squeeze-A-Snack. And
Go-Gurt?
no. God, no. Go-Gurt is such an improvement over Squeeze-A-Snack. Squeeze-A-Snack is basically... All right, you've seen like the little bologna tubes where like it's in this plastic tube with like these metal crimped ends, right? Or like Braunschweiger comes in a tube like that.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Well, this is
Braunschweiger? Arnold Braunschweiger.
This is see, it's right there, Colin. You see that? It's basically tube o' cheese with a little like manhole cover in the middle that you take off, and then cheese comes through the manhole cover slot for you to put on crackers and stuff.
So, did you lose your ability to just put anything up on the screen you want?
Yeah, right now I did.
Okay.
Yeah. So you weren't the only one that lost toys. So yeah, that's what that was. And they had all different kinds.
Okay, just
That was
bookmark this. We need to actually show this on our next episode.
all right. Now, Colin, were you 77 or were you 78?
7.
77. All right, because we share the same one. So 77, according to them, the most popular snack in the world, mug o' lunch. Now, I'm going to say that that's got to be similar to cup o' ramen. In fact, it sure looks similar to cup o' ramen, except for they don't give you the cup.
And it's
So,
like spaghetti and macaroni and cheese.
Yeah,
so it's like the predecessor to Nutrisystem.
I would say so, yeah. It's pretty horrific is what it is.
Except that Nutrisystem is supposed to be good for you, and these aren't.
Yeah.
Back then we thought it was.
There we go. Now we're back in business.
It has the Betty Crocker label on the front of it. It's
Okay, that can't be good.
All right, now we're back in business. Now I can show you stuff. So here's Muggo Lunch.
oh good. There's actually a YouTube commercial for it.
Oh yeah, because that's gonna make it all seem much more.
Wow, macaroni and cheese. Mine's spaghetti.
Beef noodles? My wife's a magician.
The trick is new Mug a Lunch from Betty Crocker. 3 tasty hot dishes you make in a mug, 1 helping at a time. Just add boiling water, wait 4 minutes, stir, and eat. Spaghetti and rich tomato sauce, creamy macaroni and cheese, hearty beef noodles. Also delicious, it isn't magic that makes them disappear.
Mug-a-Lunch, new from Betty Crocker.
Okay, that was worth listening to just to find out how to pronounce it. It's Mug a Lunch.
Muggo Lunch. It sounds like a character from a Harry Potter book.
It does.
So, but yes, I have a list here of the number one items from every year 1960 to present, or to 2016. All right, 1960 Eggo waffles. Now
Okay.
that is a snack. I think you could have a waffle as a snack.
Oh, yeah.
Ruffles potato chips in 61. Snack-ish. Fruit stripe gum in 62. Was somebody sitting around going, "I'll have a snack. Maybe a slice of this gum"?
Well, back then they didn't. No, you're not supposed to swallow.
No, fruit stripe gum is like one of the shortest lifetime, flavor lifetimes of a gum.
It doesn't. 5 seconds of flavor is what you get.
Yeah, so actually it almost considers a snack.
All right. Kellogg's Triple Snack Cereal. It's got snack in the name. 1964, I totally agree with this and say it should be the snack of all time, Pop-Tarts. That is breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack right there. They make them in every single flavor. Toast Witches in 65. My favorite chip in the world, Doritos, 66. Starburst. If you don't have Laffy Taffy, a Starburst will work. Hunt's Snack Pack. Who remembers those? Now, this is back in the day when they were still in metal cans.
Oh, yeah.
Pudding cups.
Yeah, but I think we can remember Hunt's Pudding Cups. Funyuns in 69. Space Food Sticks.
Space Food Sticks, invented in late 1960s by Pillsbury's chief food technologist, Howard Bauman, who later established the hazard analysis and critical control points regulations for food safety. Apparently, these have been shown on The Simpsons and The Colbert Report, and books by R.L. Stine, and the film Super 8.
Followed by Cup Noodles Kugel. Egg
Kugel.
McMuffin.
Cool. Isn't that one of those exercises that women do with the Thigh-Master?
Yeah, it is.
It was a flavored peanut spread. And available was chocolate, cinnamon, vanilla, and banana flavors.
Okay, so it was the predecessor to, like, Nutella.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Oh.
All right. Egg McMuffins. Who thinks of an Egg McMuffin as a snack? That is breakfast.
Well, now it's a snack. I can go get one right now.
Well,
if I hadn't forgotten my wallet.
But it is but nobody looks at that and goes, ooh, I'm hungry for a snack. I'll go to the vending machine and get an Egg McMuffin.
No.
It's not a snack.
Yeah. I would not go to a vending machine for an Egg McMuffin.
Squeeze a snack. Again, it's got snack in the name. Granola bars. Those are a snack. They need to be the really bad ones, though. They can't be like the healthy choice, ones. I want the ones drizzled in chocolate. Pringles. The only chip, designed around a tennis ball can. Muggle Lunch, like we talked about. Reese's Pieces. Or Reese's Pieces.
Probably has to do with the year that E.T. was released.
Right. Twix. Ring Pops. I don't like those. Skittles. Pudding Pops. Fruit Roll-Ups. Ben and Jerry's. Ice cream, definitely a snack. In fact, I just had some Ben and Jerry's the other day. I had some fish food. My wife decided to be nice to me. So she got me not only my favorite regular 2 ice creams, but she got me a tub of fish food as well. Oh, so good. Pudding Pockets. Fun Fruits. Those are actually pretty good, but you could eat a whole handful at one time.
Oh, the Pudding Pockets is what you call a Hostess pudding pie now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Airheads. Lunchables. Bubble tape. Mike, were you a bubble tape guy?
No, I was a Big League Chew guy.
Big League Chew. Wanting to be like the majors, huh?
Yep.
Dunkaroos. Those were good.
We always had to make our own, though. We were too poor to have regular Dunkaroos. My mom would just sit a box of graham crackers down in a tub of icing and say, here, make your own. Peanut butter M&Ms. My favorite M&Ms. Snackwells. Who remembers Snackwells? You remember what they were?
They were supposed to be healthy cookies.
Yeah, diet cookies. Which only worked when you didn't eat 10 bags of the things in one sitting.
True.
Craisins. Warheads. Rice Krispie treats. How did it take them till 95 to package up a Rice Krispie treat and sell it?
Because nobody would buy them because they're so easy to make.
Lay's baked potato chips. Orbits. I'm assuming that's gum.
Yes. Or that drink, maybe?
Yeah, I think that is the drink, actually. 98.
Oh, yes, the drink with the little gelatin.
Yeah. Yeah, with the microbeads that kill the fish. McFlurries.
Oh, Orbits was like the soda version of bubble tea.
Yeah. Yeah. McFlurry, here's your Go-Gurt at 99. Uncrustables in 2000. Did any of you guys eat those? I didn't.
Oh.
I still do.
You still eat Uncrustables?
Those are those frozen...
peanut butter and jellies.
Yeah.
With the crust off. Really?
The crust is the unimportant part.
You just like the convenience of not having to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Yes. Because they're frozen.
The time commitment to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich stops you from making a sandwich?
The fact that they're frozen, so they're really good for trips. They defrost.
A peanut butter and jelly sandwich holds. It doesn't need long-term refrigeration requirements.
I like them. I like the crimps. My mom used to need to have the little things where you put the bread in and put the stuff in the middle and crimp it. So it's the crimps that I like.
To make your own Popeyes over the fire, right?
You can do that too, but I like it.
Milk and cereal bars. Lara Bar.
Those have been around since 2003.
Yep.
I mean, they're only really big for the last couple of years around here, but
Does everybody remember the Reese's Swoops? They were the chocolate Pringle. It looked like a Pringle. It was that same shape. Came in a little tub, and it was solid chocolate. Sometimes it had like caramel or white chocolate swirled into it. Oh, those were good. Bertie Bott's every flavor beans. Colin, you ate these.
well, the Harry Potter.
I know you ate these. McDonald's chicken snack wrap. As a snack.
It has snack in the name.
It has snack in it. All right. Pop chips. No.
Yes,
I eat popcorn. I'm going to eat popcorn.
but those are good.
Pop chips are not bad.
Organic chocolate in 2008.
Go piss up a flagpole.
Yeah, that's like we used to work together at a place that they loved their dark chocolate. The darker, the better. They would get this imported dark chocolate. And I'm like, no, I want milk. Milk chocolate. I don't want dark chocolate.
I like dark chocolate. But I don't like the idea of throwing organic in front of something and thereby assuming it's automatically going to be better.
Yeah, especially like chocolate. It's the tree. What are they doing to the trees that they're not? Anyway.
All right, 2009. Alternative chips. I don't know what that is.
Like veggie chips.
Like
chips. Taro chips.
Yeah.
Oh.
So suddenly the list itself has become hipster.
Yeah. 2010. I agree with this. Cupcakes. 2010 was the year where you saw a cupcake place open up on every corner. The designer cupcake went along with the super huge muffin.
Right. Because you had, like, crumbs.
Yep.
And they got too big, started selling their stuff in BJ's, and then a month later they were bankrupt.
Well, and that's when all these cupcake wars started on Food Network and everything else. All right, here's one. Swanky pork rinds and gourmet jerky.
Hey,
was the next year.
Pork rinds did become more popular at the same time as the Atkins diet became popular.
Yeah, I guess.
But I don't remember swanky pork rinds.
No, gourmet jerky, I remember.
Well, but around here, that's been around forever, though.
Yeah.
I can remember in the 80s going and, to the shows and stuff like that, especially the hunting shows, which was the only place you could get weird jerky.
We might as well stop talking about this. Because when you get to the next one, it's even more so.
Yeah, pretzels.
I'm sorry. Was there a
year of the pretzel?
Were pretzels ever not?
Pretzels were always great snack food. I went to J.C. Penney's here in town. Used to have a little stand at the front counter just past where you checked out. And that was where me and Dad waited for my mom and my sister to get through the damn checkouts, and we got a hot pretzel. And damn it, because we liked it, we put mustard on it.
Okay, but 2012 is when the boom started with pretzel buns for hamburgers everywhere. I don't know if you have them out there, but you had the Philly Pretzel Company.
All right, we don't have that, but I can remember the pretzel bun being a thing.
Yeah, but I don't see that as being a
And you know what? I can remember it becoming an appetizer. Like home pretzel sticks and stuff like that becoming an appetizer on menus around that time. Because before it wasn't really an appetizer.
But still, as a snack, it's still pretzels. I mean, it's potato chips, tortilla chips, pretzels. Those are the trinity of...
Again, though, we can forget this one because the next one is even worse.
No, the next one's a real thing.
The next one's a real thing in one place.
Oh, no, they become big everywhere.
I have never seen this on a menu.
You can buy them in Springfield.
You can buy them at Dunkin' Donuts.
All right. We have one Dunkin' Donuts here.
Yes.
All right. A town of 100,000.
And a damn cronut at Dunkin' Donuts costs you $3.50. You could get a chicken sandwich for less than a cronut. Move on.
Microwave mug cake. This was a Pinterest thing. Pure and simple. And then the last one, Rainbow Bagel. 2016 was the year of the Rainbow Bagel. Now, I would agree, bagels had a year.
I want to step back to 2014. Okay, gourmet popcorn, that's bull.
Yeah.
That's been a fad ever since somebody figured out if you put Santa Claus in a Christmas theme on a tin can, and put a cardboard divider in there, you could sell popcorn for $20 a tin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what they're referring to, though, is like Popcorn, Indiana. The places that started selling like really expensive bags of popcorn. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's popcorn. Potato chips, tortilla chips, pretzels, popcorn.
Yeah. Couldn't be terribly difficult. All right. It is now time for the PTR Radio double feature movie review. This week up on the docket, again, we have two movies. We have P-51 Dragon Fighter, and we have Strange Wilderness. Both are available on Amazon Prime. If you want to use your membership for this, feel free. If you think you have something better to watch with your bandwidth, feel free. We are going to tell you what we thought of the movies, and we want to hear what you think of our reviews. And most importantly, if you've seen these movies, we want to know what you think of the movie yourself. Don't forget, chime in, Yahoo, on Facebook and Twitter, PTR Radio. We want to know what you think of this. I suggest we start with P-51 Dragon Fighter. Any objections?
No objections.
None.
All right. And if you don't mind, I'll start off. I did write a proper review this week. This week features an entry into the Nazi-era fantasy film genre. You didn't know there was such a thing, did you? Yep, in this film we are asked to believe that not only have the Nazis embraced the occult, but they've pulled into service the talents of dragons and the witches that control them. You would think being the best Nazi dragon film ever would be easy, and should make it an easy sell to audiences. I mean, it's a proven fact that that American moviegoers love dragons and hate Nazis. So how can you fail to make a winning movie? This movie tried really hard and succeeded in failure. We've never had a movie in the history of this segment that has made me care less about the characters than this film. The film is so horrible in its plot and writing that I couldn't tell you the names of any of the characters, nor could I clearly identify a main character within the film. It's a disjointed mess filled with no primary plot, no nondescript subplots, and characters that are more wooden than my desk. About the only thing from the movie that I can tell you is that the idea that dragons let Nazis tattoo their wings is completely impractical and one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. You can tell that Amazon took zero pride in having this movie on their server because of the lack of oversight in the quality of the rip of this movie. During playback, there is a constant echo in the sound, and at times the video quality looks worse than when my parents videotaped my sister's 4th grade ballet recital. This movie should have never been made, and furthermore, I feel like the bandwidth I spent watching it could have been better spent doing repeated upload and downloads of The Cobbler. This movie gets a solid puke on the scale.
Mike, I'm going to go second. That's okay with you.
Right ahead.
Okay. This movie, P-51 Dragon Fighter, had lots of great sets. I'm not sure what was going on in the sets, but for the movies that we've seen so far in this segment, they found a lot of really nice sets. I will say everything about this movie doesn't make any sense. Every single airplane used in the movie didn't exist at the time of the movie. That's okay because neither did, dragons. Although what I will give this movie is, I actually had some of the best actors I've seen in a bad movie with a bad script, reading bad dialogue. They really tried. They didn't have anything to do with it. But it's like they all came in with, an existing character that came from somewhere. I don't know where they came from, but they had a character. I figured that basically the director, who also was the writer, had these sets and some Nazi uniforms, and then he had to try to figure out what to do with them. And he also had an application for his iPad that could generate dragons. I keep trying to say dinosaurs. But they weren't very... It's like, one of those, like, Pokemon things. I think he had one of those, like, augmented reality things that had, like, did dragons. And so he just did that in front of the camera. It was just shooting. And then came up with this movie. It had a bunch of blondes in a desert. And I think that also was the idea of, if he got a whole bunch of blondes in the desert, maybe he can get one of them to go out with him. Beyond that, I do not watch this movie. I will give it slightly above Shaggy's puke and give it a burp. Just because there are some people really trying to act in this movie. Yeah, puke plus 3. Mike, take it away. Oh, I'm sorry. I almost forgot. This is one of the first movies I've seen that has fake trivia in IMDb. Someone put in IMDb that the special effects of the dragons were created on a Commodore 64. And they obviously weren't, but it was very funny. Okay.
All right, so right off the bat, I'm going to advise everyone that if you watch this movie, first of all, do so at your own risk. But if you watch this movie, don't wear headphones.
No. No.
What's with the techno echo on the sound in this film?
I checked 3 times to make sure I didn't have an extra browser open and that the echo wasn't on my side.
First note, this is going to piss me off real quick if it continues for the whole movie. And I'm pretty sure I saw these P-51s in a game on Facebook, which led me to believe that maybe that's where the premise for this movie came from. Someone hacked Age of Allies or World of Warfare or Air Raid 2000, whatever, and put a dragon in the game, and one of the players was like, this would make a great movie. And they may have even used the effects from it. 6 minutes, 48 seconds in, we get our first Wilhelm scream. What kind of game was that? I have never been at a party where it's like, okay, do a shot, and then you get to punch me. I've never played that game. I've never had any desire to play that game, and I will not play that game. There's always an older officer with a pipe. If I have learned anything, I know that if you get called into a meeting by superior officers, there's a guy with a pipe that doesn't say anything, you're screwed. It's a suicide mission. I've not seen a single actor that I recognize yet. Could be good or bad. They got in the air real damn quick. P-51s don't start up that quick. It's not like you jump in, flip a switch, and you're in the air. The dragons actually look better than I anticipated when you see them up close. I was expecting to see some kind of bad animation, but it's maybe because I've never seen a real dragon to actually compare them to. I think the audio issue is because they recorded on site and did not do post-audio for voices. But the echo, I can't say enough, was painful. A single shot through an open air vent will destroy everything. Where have I heard something similar before? Oh, Star Wars, of course. Really? The dragons caught the bombs. I can't get my dog to fetch a tennis ball, but these dragons caught bombs in midair. The echo was only supposed to be on the singing that the blondes were doing. But some idiot selected the entire file and applied the filter, not just the girl singing. And wait, the male dragon came out with Nazi flags already on his wings. How did they genetically engineer that? This gets a puke. solid puke. It might not have been so bad, but the audio literally gave me a headache by the end of the film. I was not on headphones. If I was on headphones, it would have been even worse. And the plot was worse than an Asylum film. That's right, I said it.
Yeah. Well, the director and writer has made Asylum films.
Before or after this?
Both.
God help us.
Yeah, he's made lots of movies. I thought at first maybe this was a student film, and I was going to give them a plus. I say, hey, for a student film, this is really good. And even though the writing's bad, at least it's actually slightly better than some others. But then I saw how many movies and how long he's been working, and I was like, no, not a student film.
Bad.
Yeah, I did have that student film vibe.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, I need this to graduate.
Now, I didn't go...
I'm going to get all my friends to help me.
Really? Because that other one with the pseudo X-Men thing was a student film, and I'm sorry, this is actually leaps and bounds above that one.
Oh yeah. I didn't go through this because I thought maybe you might like. So, the guy is brought in. Okay, so he was a leader of pilots, and then he decided to ground himself. But since he decided to ground himself, why does he need somebody else to give him permission to fly again if he was the one who grounded himself in the first place? He was brought in to train the other pilots. Make sure I got this right. Yeah. He was brought in to train other pilots. Does he have experience flying planes against dragons that he can teach other people to do that? No. So what's the point of bringing him in?
Anyone have experience flying against dragons?
So why would they bring him in to train anybody, especially other pilots who have, in some cases, more experience than he does? When in the movie does he ever actually train them?
Yeah.
Never. And finally, not only is it a guy with a pipe, it's an English guy with a pipe.
Forgot about that. You were correct.
I said the English guy with the pipe. Like I said, there's a lot of people there who seem to actually have some skills.
I feel bad for anybody in this movie that thought that this movie was going to be their big break.
Oh,
I don't.
They can't have thought that.
I don't feel as bad for them as one particular person that we're going to discuss here in a few minutes.
All right. Next up, Strange Wilderness. Now, do you have anything written down for this one, Colin?
I do have stuff written down, but go for it.
All right. Strange Wilderness is another Billy Madison production. Released in 2008, this movie failed at the box office, barely able to recover its $20 million budget. That's right, this thing cost $20 million. Starring the likes of Steve Zahn, Alan Covert, Justin Long, Jonah Hill, and Kevin Heffernan, alongside veteran actors Ernest Borgnine, Blake Clark, and Jeff Harlan, you'd think this comedy all-star team would have been able to make a killer comedy about a son taking over for his father in a down-and-out nature show. But unfortunately for the audience, I'm sorry to say the funniest parts are, as normal, in the trailers for this movie. This movie is only saved by the fact that I watched it after P-51 Dragon Fighter. Otherwise, it might have held the trophy for worst movie ever reviewed after Mike's Beloved Cobbler. The funny moments during the show are formulaic and quickly become expected and trite. Their overusage of recurring fart humor brings the level of comedy down to a lowbrow level more akin to a Dumb and Dumber movie than what is expected from a refined comedy, such as Accepted, we've seen in the past from the same crew. In addition, I couldn't help but feel like the addition of Alan Covert and Peter Dante was meant only to remind us that these actors did more than Little Nicky and the Wedding Singer. Their parts seemed added at the last minute and added nothing to the movie or plot. This movie could have been good, and should have been good. The general premise reminded me something akin to Wayne's World, and could have become a cult classic. But alas, maybe those days are behind us, and stupid humor is all that this world is left with. Us with a more refined comedic palette are left with only stand-up specials and political commentary shows to fill the gap. This movie did more than ruin my afternoon. It destroyed my faith in good humor. Happy Madison, you suck. And for this travesty, I give Strange Wilderness a verp. Not quite a puke, but only because my chunks are all used up from P-51 Dragon Fighter.
I'm going to go last, Mike, if you want
to. Okay. You'd think people are going to start thinking that we talked about this beforehand. I'm just saying. So, yay, a Happy Madison production. This causes some slight trepidation. This is either going to be great or I'm going to want to rip my eyes out. And is it me, or does it seem like every Happy Madison production is basically the same cast of characters with different names and different haircuts? This movie is going to be a fight not to tap out... Oh, wait, boobies! Wait a minute, boobies. Okay, I'll stick around for a little bit. I'm suddenly reminded how much I hate Fat Jonah Hill. Skinny Jonah Hill is okay-ish. Bigfoot, really? That's what this is going to wind up being about? Bigfoot? I want a 1970s era RV with shag carpet. I think we could use it for the PTR road tour. I'm going to say it right now. She's not watching, so Colin, you better relay this message. Don't anyone even think about adding a seal costume or a seal hat to 8 Man's Hat list. I swear to God, I will quit this damn show. Okay. The turkey scene is really making it hard for me to not tap out here. There he is. There's the last guy from every Happy Madison production. There he is. You don't baby. And it's amazing how bad Robert Patrick has aged in 9 years. Seeing him now, or in this movie, and then seeing him in Scorpion, he's kind of aged pretty bad. And what is with the Scrotus? What purpose does that... Why? He's bragging about his skills, standing by himself. That's an omen that he is going to die. And I told you so. This suddenly has taken a Goonies turn. Chester Copperpot couldn't make it, but we made it this far. The experienced crew died. Let's just keep going, even though we're a bunch of idiots. And guns. Who let the stoners have guns? In what world is that a good idea? The shark thing. At the end, are you kidding me? Really? That's how we're... So, this is where it gets a little weird. Puke to Schnikes, this gets a verp. A burp backed by vomit. It made me want to throw up, but I hadn't eaten anything yet. I'm pretty sure that this movie was the one that made Netflix want to do a 6-picture deal with Adam Sandler. And the quality is on par with the movies done under that deal. Except The Cobbler. I like that one.
Okay. Strange Wilderness. So
Yes.
Strange Wilderness actually started in the 90s as a series of short videos by some former writers for Saturday Night Live. And that's those little wilderness sections. They were making fun of wilderness shows, okay? I liked the little fake wilderness shows. If they had done an entire movie about those and the people who made them, they may have had a movie out of it. Now, I have to say I felt really bad for Ernest Borgnine. I just have, because he was at the beginning of the movie and at the end of the movie. So my only assumption is that he was there just for those things, and at that time it looked like an interesting movie. And you could have had something in the middle with those surroundings, might have been good. So luckily Ernest Borgnine tapped out and wasn't there for the vast majority of the movie. Now, I like doing funny reviews of movies. And for a while there, I thought I could do a really good one for this movie. Because this movie doesn't seem to know when this movie happens. there are times when it seems to be like in the 70s, and they have like a 1920s film camera that they're using to actually shoot stuff. But and then they have an old RV that they're driving around. But then the female character had a flip phone. And all the other cars around them are like modern vehicles for 2008. So I was going to do like a time travel thing, but then I realized the people who made this movie really didn't care. I didn't really care. So I decided to go with a completely different kind of review, which is I'm going to read quotes from other reviews. So Aaron Hill says, this is from Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
No snob to lowbrow ridiculousness. When it's actually unexpected, I'll admit to being amused exactly once. I agree with this comment because I was amused by the fake wildlife. The first one with the bears. That was funny. At least Gawk and Wolf didn't have to go far to kill their reputation. During the jungle piranha attack scene, a mallard duck floats by in the background. Mallard ducks don't exist in South America.
Someone fact-checking the movie.
This movie is designed for an audience that likes gross-out humor and endless silliness. I don't think even audiences who like gross-out humor and endless silliness would like this movie. Donald Clark from the Irish Times. Call me a moron, but I laughed so hard I inhaled my roach. Donald Clark from the Irish Times, you're a moron. And congratulations, you have the only positive review of this movie in the whole world. This movie has a 2% rotten on the tomato meter. It's only 0% because you swallowed your roach.
Oh, my. By the way, Ernest Borgnine is worth $15 million.
So he really didn't need the money.
He doesn't care.
Well, he did. He was worth $15 million. Any resemblance to comedy is purely coincidental and unintentional. The only reason to chuckle is to prove you haven't died while watching it. After watching Strange Wilderness, you may want to soak your feet in a tub of live piranhas just for laughs. You'll find it a lot more fun than anything in this movie.
Yeah. I think we can universally agree that the only reason it didn't get rated worse was because we all watched it second.
Yes. Oh, no, I give this one a puke. I rate this one worse than the other one.
Oh, you rate this one puke?
Oh, yeah.
And I watched this one first.
Oh, wow. Okay, see, I watched
I wanted
it second.
to kill you. I was like, Shaggy has been trying to get us to watch this damn movie for 2 months.
But according to the trailer, it looked like it would be good. It did.
No.
The trailer hugely misleading.
No. According to the trailer, it looked like it would be a good candidate for a review on this show.
Yes.
We don't watch good movies.
Yes. This was
True.
a definite. I mean, okay, but one thing I will say, one of the reviewers said that this movie was obviously written by people who were on Wacky Backy at the time when they were writing it. And my response to that reviewer is, we've seen movies that were written on Wacky Backy, and some of those movies are some of the most well-known comedy movies of all time, like anything from Cheech and Chong. So, I don't think it was the Wacky Backy. I think it was just bad.
Even recent movies, anything with James Franco in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pineapple Express. What's the new one where he's like the MySpace internet guy?
Why him or something like that?
Why him?
Yeah.
This is the end.
But I just, yeah. Well, and that's fine. You know, we go through these things where, you know, because of a horrible pick, that person loses the opportunity to select one of the next movies. So I'm perfectly good deferring on the next round of movies to you and Colin.
I would say this was a perfectly fine movie for us to make fun of.
Yeah, it was. It was
but
horrible.
it was bad.
It was bad.
And here's the funny thing. The reason why there's no note about how I was like, I'm going to kick Shaggy's ass for this one, is because I watched it first.
Okay.
P-51 made me realize Strange Wilderness could have been a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah.
A lot worse.
I mean, but do you guys see what I was saying where the premise had a chance? It could have been a good movie.
What, Strange Wilderness?
Yeah.
It could have been. You take the original idea of the people who make these awful nature movies.
Well, I was going from the idea of a guy who was taking over for his dad, who was not qualified whatsoever.
Yes.
You know, trying to save the show that his dad ran forever.
Yes.
I mean, I was taking the actual idea from the movie and thinking, all right, completely different script, same premise. This could have been a good movie.
Yeah.
Because the premise, I mean, we've seen it before. Like I've referenced Wayne's World. Wayne's World could have been a monumental failure.
Yes.
The idea that you can build a movie around a cable access show. All right. Trying to make it big.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Someone would say you were insane. That's not an idea for a movie. All right. But I saw that is so parallel here.
Yeah.
So parallel here. I could have seen this launching into that same type of story arc. Of, hey, he makes it huge, and by the end of the movie, just like Joe Dirt having his own talk show, you know, at the end of that one, you know, now Steve Zahn's character is walking into late-night TV shows, you know, being strangled by a boa constrictor, you know, and then they fade to black. You know, that kind of thing. I could have seen that working out that way.
Yeah. But I could actually illustrate, for people who have not seen this movie, I can illustrate pretty quickly what's wrong with this movie to those people, okay? There is a scene where they're going to be going on a road trip.
Yeah.
They are getting into an RV. And one of the people whose job is just to move stuff around,
Jonah Hill's character.
Jonah Hill's character is supposed to put stuff into the RV. But the stuff is still mounted up next to the RV, not in the RV, because he's too stoned, whatever. So, they end up leaving.
Yeah.
And the camera shows that all that stuff that was supposed to be packed in the RV is still laying there on the ground.
And we had 3 minutes of dialogue relating to that. Wasted 3 minutes.
Yes, because nothing ever comes of it through the entire rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Nothing that was left there in the pile next to the RV was ever needed by the characters throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
So it was just a complete and utter waste of time, and utter lack of anything that could have helped later with the plot.
Yeah, nothing built.
Yeah.
Nothing built. It wasn't even a good road movie, which is it had the idea it had the capability of being.
Yeah, they should have found out later that all the film, because they're using a film camera, was left there next to the RV, and the entire time they've been shooting with an empty camera. Something like that. Anything.
Yeah, and then they would have had to have made a fake Bigfoot movie in the backyard the day before they had to go turn it in.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're trying to find Bigfoot. We never actually said this. They're trying to find Bigfoot. They find Bigfoot, and then immediately kill Bigfoot.
Yeah, which,
It's just like, it's like watching, National Lampoon's Summer Vacation, and they finally get to the park at the end, and instead of finding the park closed, or finding the park closed and trying to get it reopened, that they just immediately blow the park up and go home.
Yeah, it was really dumb. It was really, really dumb that way.
It was,
so,
in every sense, puke.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
No, it sounds just like P-51 Dragon Fighter. So without actually seeing it, now you can hear it.
Yes, welcome to the P-51 Dragon Fighter Echo Experience. You've been listening to PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb. We want to thank you all for tuning in. Mike, did you have something else to say? I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I'm not getting an echo.
Oh, okay. our next show will be the 27th, which is a normally scheduled show. This was a makeup show, so we'll be back on the 27th, barring any more future illnesses. So as long as my polio doesn't flare back up, I think we'll all be here. Leprosy seems to be held at bay, so life is good that way. By then, we'll have all these little issues taken care of. Maybe by then, I'll have the first date nailed down for our bar show, and we can announce that. So, with that said, though, we will be back. Don't forget to check out the website, ptrradio.com. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, PTR Radio. We still need your help to gain listeners. You guys are really the only way that we do that, so we're looking for your help in doing that. Make sure that you spread the love of the show. Don't forget, also check out our YouTube channel, and I do post it on Facebook as well. The On the Road Again with Shaggy segment is back, and we'll be posting regular updates on that. So, with that said, I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I'm Mike the 8 Man.
Thanks a lot, folks. See you later.